So, I saw another video of the Nova from Soft White Underbelly, and her mom, of course, being fake and pretending to like her daughter, and people, honestly, I would say the only people that fall for that are people that have cognitive dissonance for their own abusers, or their abusers themselves. But anyways, I saw that. I also, follow Nova's YouTube channel, and she posts there every now and then. So, I mean, she's still out here. And this makes me think, again, back to the whole Billy situation. But please don't think that I'm trying to, victim blame somebody, or that I'm trying to, compare situations. I swear I'm really not. But I definitely have to compare how they're treated, though. Because it's very obvious, as I've always said since my first video, that Billy was locked up really quick, fast, and in a hurry because he's a quote-unquote black boy. Nova was treated better, not even because, well, honestly, it does really show that, some people actually do care more. But overall, most of the people there are predators, boys and girls her age, and men and women that want to get with her. Also women that are, in the same bull crap, and they're trying to hype her up to stay in the bull crap. But I noticed with the Billy situation, it's a lot of the comments are from the Serpent Seed, fake Euro, you-know-whos, and they really hated him because, of course, he's a melanated person. They really wanted him in jail. They really wanted him to have some type of charge for unaliving somebody or for robbing somebody. They really wanted him in prison for the rest of his life. But I noticed that, and I'm not saying that Nova should be locked up. I'm really not saying this. And I know it's probably going to sound bad to most people regardless, but it's even with the stuff that Nova is doing, I understand why, but it's it's very obvious that she's been treated better because she's a girl. And there's even still going to be some racial stuff that people will say with that, but it's she just didn't get. Honestly, I've never seen anybody get the hate that Billy got, to be truthfully honest. I can't even lie about that. I just had to pause and think about that in a second, because it's I've said this before too. Even grown people that are purposely constantly putting themselves in bullcrap situations don't even get anywhere near the amount of hate that Billy got. A lot of people are also jealous of him because the Daisy lady, which I've heard a lot about her when I went to Venice Beach myself. She's a Thalemite, New Age something, and she does sex magic massages to people on the beach. And a lot of people are jealous of him because he was around her, and they're oh, well, she's taking my wannabe girlfriend, a whole bunch of sick mess. But anyways, he didn't even have as long as a run as most people on Soft White Underbelly. A lot of people on there have been on there over and over again throughout the years. And it's even Nova, and I'm not trying to blame her for anything, of course, but I'm just saying, she was first on there in the first interview when she was 12, maybe even 11, but she said she was 14. Now she's actually 15. A lot of other people have been on there multiple times. He was on there once, and then the second time when there was the quote-unquote update where he was skating. And some stuff was said about Daisy or something like that, or Daisy was shown doing whatever in the world. I also seen that he was exploited heavily by the Euro you-know-what racist dude, which a lot of people say that he's very racist. I don't even know how in-depth that situation is, but the Santa Monica close-up dude. And then some TikTok channel, can't remember the name of it, but someone else was exploiting him and making videos about him. And this is why I really try to get these videos out here and let people know that when you're laying low, even if you're 18 plus, if you have a conservatorship or whatever in the world you have going on, if you're a missing person, you do not want to be getting exploited and interviewed by these people. And the unfortunate thing is that he really needed to get out of LA. I feel if he could have got out of LA quick enough, he could have not got caught. But the thing also is, of course, I even get this, and I feel this way pretty often myself. You're gonna want parents and a family type, whatever in the world, something like a family. And most people are pretty desperate for that. And they're really gonna try to pretend that they have a family they don't have with any and everybody they meet. And you really got to get over that before even escaping an abuse situation. Because, like, it's just going to constantly put you in bad situations. Because to be truthfully honest, especially if you're anointed or prophetic, most of the people you run into are going to be Jezebelic, let me help you lunatics that are trying to make you become Jezebelic and Ahab. Well, you're probably already Ahab, but they're trying to make you become Jezebelic yourself. As well as get you locked up, charged, sent back to the cash cow systems or whatever bad situation, maybe even unalived, or just make you lose your mind. Most of the people you're going to run into are not going to be safe. This is why I made the videos about why you can't be desperate. And I know that, like, most people just feel like I'm just like somebody who just, like, needs to go to trauma therapy, and I make these videos, and then there's the whole little bullcrap about how I'm a quote-unquote mentally ill homeless child. But, like, I really do want people to, like, understand the truth behind why these things happen that happen to you, so you can try to, like, avoid a lot of extra things that could possibly be avoided, or at least understand what's going on. Because it's like too many people fall in these cycles and never get out. They never meet their full potential even halfway. They die before their time. They lose their mind. And I'm not even gonna lie, like I said in the Weapons of the New World Order video, sanity is a war, but I'm not even gonna go into that. So now I'm gonna read this comment that I left to someone who was talking about how anybody who sees underage youth in distress should call for help. And I've been talking about since, I don't know, 2021, what this quote-unquote help is. I mean, some of the kids that went the most viral on Soft White Underbelly are in quote-unquote help systems. They're in foster care, CPS custody. Billy and Nova are actually in CPS custody, which is why they have nowhere to go. Which, even though being in CPS custody is being homeless and it's a human trafficking organization, you still can't even put all the blame on them. CPS can't just magically make up homes to put people in. I mean, they try to, and then crazy, horrific mess happens. But it's like, people don't adopt, people don't want to get involved. If they do want to adopt, CPS makes it impossible. So you're either locked in an institution till 18 or even way older than 18, or you live in the woods somewhere. Or you get trafficked through abusive foster homes. And by the way, as a side note, that girl that I've mentioned a couple times since I started uploading again, like a year or however long ago, the one that's in CPS custody, that her foster parents had unalived that baby, then the social worker and CPS took the baby out the system to pretend they never existed, that then they tried to, like, pretend that she hurt the baby, all that stuff that happened, she's missing again. I had to throw that in there, and I'm gonna make another video about that and how, like, people have to really want help themselves first, but they also have to not be scared to help themselves. Because, like, if you're scared to leave, you're probably never going to leave. And I understand why people are, because, I mean, there's all these quote-unquote helpers around that want you locked up and in prison on death row. And you notice the Nova girl got even more eyes on her after her interview, but people don't want her locked up because she's a girl. And most people are hyping her up because they're women in the same situation. Others are boys, girls, men, and women who want to get with her. So yeah, it's all superficial. Like, there's even a lot of girls and boys that are on her page asking her if she's single and stuff like that. They quote unquote cared more because they think they have a chance. But they didn't really see that with the two guys too much, meaning the two boys in the video that I recently uploaded titled Youth Homelessness, which the 17-year-old, he got locked up and sent back home, I'm pretty sure. That was a long time ago though, to be honest. I think I've mentioned in the description how, like, his brother got in the comments and said, "This is my brother and he ran away and help us get him home." So the brother's an enabler, flying monkey, who wants his brother back at home with his addict parents. And I mean, the brother fell into addiction too, and his parents introduced him to it and would, like, give him drugs. And, like, I met so many people in situations like this, especially while on the West Coast, and of course in Slab City. But anywho, where was I? Although the first boy had been kidnapped and essayed a few times, but not too many people showed any emotions, because one, he's the boy, and two, he's quote-unquote black. It's a lot of double standards. Another good reason not to get on interviews. Too many people telling you crap about you and what you should do, even when you can't do much but hide. But yeah, I noticed that there's so many people on Soft White Underbelly that are doing so much worse stuff. And I mean, of course, him and Nova and all the other younger people on there, they're still in that point in their life where, like, they're going through the trauma-based mind control. They have a whole bunch of people around them, after them, trying to unalive them, drive them crazy, hurt them, and all types. I don't even remember what I was last saying because the audio had cut off. But it's like, they're still at that point where they have a spark in their eyes. They haven't turned themselves over to the dark side completely and become reprobate, or what people know as a high-ranking Jezebel, or the quote-unquote narcissist bullcrap that people like to say. I really hate the psych label mess, but they're not at that point yet, even though people want them to be, especially like with all the different lies they make up about the Billy kid because he's quote-unquote black. Well, he's a quote-unquote black boy anyways. And actually, I have to throw this in here. Somebody has said that he needs a quote-unquote black male role model in his life. And people really have to stop this whole throw a dude in there and then things will get better. And I don't even know why people say bullcrap like that, because it takes two people to make a baby anyway. So, like, obviously there was a dude there, but he's just as messed up as the mom is, or there's a lot of alienation going on and he's not allowed around. But anyway, somebody had responded and was like, why would he need a quote-unquote black man in his life when he's obviously Latina? But let's be realistic. Those racist Mexicans in Cali, they're not claiming people that don't look like certain ones of them. They're definitely not claiming the ones that are more quote-unquote black, or, I don't know, more Negroid presenting and less Mongoloid presenting. Not really gonna get into all that. Somebody had even said that, like, he looks like they're half Puerto Rican grandson. And I was thinking that honestly he looks like a nephew I have. But I don't know. There's a lot I could say about that. It just was interesting. Can't remember where I seen that. But anyways, to get back to the real point though, people like really need at least like one safe person, and I can't really speak on that because I haven't found that. It's like, honestly, all you really have for a while is going to be God and yourself and laying low correctly. Everything else is going to be some bullcrap. Like, I would honestly say avoid people at all costs. Oh yeah, I forgot the point I was supposed to be getting at. But yeah, they're still at a point where, like, I don't know, if there was actually help out here, they could actually benefit from it. But it can only come from an individual person. It's not going to come from some human trafficking organization or whatever else people could think of that has something to do with the government or some religious organization which is tied to the government. The Pagan Roman Catholic Church and the Freemason off-branch on all these little organizations. And honestly, they have for like centuries. The orphanages, the schools, the slave ships, the hospitals, the group homes, the rehab. But yeah, maybe I'll make a part 2. Well, I guess this is probably like, I don't know, my part 11. I have a video already where I talk about Nova's mom and I break down stuff with Nova's mom. I thought I had a video where I talk about like different things she said, but I guess not. I made that video like maybe a year ago now. I put that in the description. I have a whole playlist about the Billy and Daisy situation. I honestly wanted to make a couple videos about Daisy, not in a rude way, but just about like things I noticed with her, myself, and a lot of people who have been through certain things. It was going to be a part of the playlist titled, what was it, Anointed? No, I think it was Racial Autism, Anointed, BPD, PDs, and something else I can't remember. It was going to have something to do with that. But lastly, I can say, once again, people were definitely just doing the whole black boy needs to be in jail, criminal bullcrap with him. And that was pretty much the majority of the comments. And I mean, yeah, I don't even know what else to say about it. In fact, if you watch my videos about juvenile jails, which I'll put them in the description eventually, one is titled, they create an issue that isn't already there. This Cash for Kids system staff admitting that, literally word for word. Another video titled, the boys wanted to sleep on the porch in the cold or something like that, where some abusive pastor parents, like, they get quote-unquote called out for having their son sleeping on the porch, but then, of course, law enforcement and CPS and the news media just try to say, oh, they're 5 feet tall black boys and the parents are scared and we're gonna figure stuff out for them. It's just so funny how, like, abusive quote-unquote black parents or family systems help make their kids a statistic by funneling them through the Cash for Kids system to torture them. Then they, like, play victim about how their kid's a statistic and their kids are in prison. There's that. Then there's another video that I made maybe over a year ago titled, "The U.S. puts more kids in prison than any developed nation," or at least I think that's the title, maybe not. And I think that's the same video with, like, the single melanated women funneling their sons through the Cash for Kids system by being very ignorant and just listening to people tell them any and everything and being like, well, yeah, I'm gonna let my son take meds for his quote-unquote ADHD. Your son probably eats nothing but Skittles. That's probably what's wrong with him aside from the trauma. Or quote-unquote wrong with him, because I really hate terms like that. But they even admitted eventually after doing brain scans that he actually was having seizures that would make him do some of the things he was doing. So very obviously metabolic issues from poor diet, the trauma, and of course he's going to have more issues from the drugs he's being forced on. But actually going back to something else, because I keep screwing this up and having to start stuff over. I noticed in one of the comments they said that he would get girlfriends for places to stay. And I wonder if that was well, for one, it could be another insult, just like when somebody said he was a prostitute. And that's why someone gave him $100. And I mean, there's always the possibilities, but for one, there's no such thing as a child prostitute. There's no such thing as sex work anyways, but it's really annoying when people always feel the need to accuse somebody of something, because due to the fact that you're hateful and you hate everybody and you wouldn't help anyone, you always assume that anytime somebody does say someone helped them, that they got taken advantage of for whatever help, or for the money or a place to stay or whatever. But it is really unfortunate that commonly that is how it quote-unquote has to go, but that's not always the case. I've even seen videos of other homeless people where they'll be like, somebody let me stay at a hotel and things like that. And then someone will be like, nobody does anything for free. And that's bullcrap. Actually, the first time I tried to escape when I got locked up due to the Let Me Help You lunatics, long story that I had videos of. Well, actually I still have them, but they're not uploaded. But when all that happened, in the placement I got put in, the psychiatrist told me that I was a prostitute. The staff were telling me that I got sex trafficked and it was my fault, even though I didn't get sex trafficked. But they were like, I heard that she was staying in a hotel with a whole bunch of other kids and they were all getting SA'd. And then the psychiatrist was like, I don't believe that somebody helped you get a hotel room for free, and I believe that you have sex with older women for places to stay. And it's but it's just so annoying. And that also goes back to another thing that I could throw in, which is that people didn't care about his essay because he's a boy. And this goes back to the feminism thing that I mention often, because feminism and misogyny is overall about anti-family and anti-youth. But anyways, feminism, it always really targets boys who haven't done anything to anybody and are victims themselves at the end of the day. It seems like boys get the worst end of feminism, and it really affects them. It even makes them get accused of things, and it's hard to explain, but It even makes me think about how when I was in Cali, which mind you, I lived in an area where no quote-unquote black people live, to be honest, so I can't really say for sure if I don't think these people have ever honestly dated a quote-unquote black dude, but I can say maybe possibly like an African dude. But these two girls, well, yeah, one was mixed, don't really like that term. Another one was in foster care dating a dude who was like a couple years older than her, that had her on all types of substances, but she was adopted by a covert racist white savior rich family. That's another video. And they both told me that the reason that they don't date quote-unquote black dudes is because they have issues with their mom, or well, they have issues with women because of their moms. And it is unfortunate because I mean a lot of them do have these types of issues from having Jezebelic single moms and even abusive dads who are barely around, and plenty of other trauma. I've said before that with all the SA, the Billy kid is definitely being set up to become like a dude who hates women. Hopefully not. But I mean, he's being set up for a lot of things. Him and all the other people on Soft Right Underbelly and these other channels are. Like, it's really a spiritual war behind all this stuff that happens. That's why I say, all you really can do is lay low. Like, people say I'm paranoid and stuff. The reason I hide and like stay in the woods most of the time and stuff is for a reason. People can say what you want to say, but when you have a certain call on your life and you're in certain situations, pretty much you're fighting for your life. And I don't want people to like get depressed or like feel like they have to be paranoid, but you just can't be buddy-buddy with everybody and you can't be desperate. That's the main thing. And something that I was supposed to be getting at, but I still think I never did, is that I understand another reason other than just being desperate and wanting love that would make him like keep running to these people, and even the Nova girl and other people. It's because, for one, he has a really long wait till 18. And I mean, it may not even seem that long, but even a 2-week wait would be a long wait till 18 when you have to dodge people, dodge let me help you lunatics, hide from cops. Even if you're not a missing person, you have to hide from cops because, for one, they hate homeless people. Being homeless is illegal. They hate street kids. They may try to like traffic you for many different reasons. People in Cali that are used to street kids, they know what to look for, so they're constantly going to be calling the police on you. The police will constantly try to run you over if you're a street kid. And another thing is that they seem to really work hard to get quote-unquote black street kids out of their areas. That's something that I noticed. Like, people were more adamant about calling the police on me, but there was a 14-year-old homeless kid who, funny enough, his name was also Billy, where I used to stay in Cali for about 3 years, and he would like come sit outside the shelter, and he'd be doing different substances with different homeless people, sharing pipes with them and everything that could have AIDS or whatever, and the guards would say nothing. He would get kicked out every now and then. He would also volunteer at like different places that gave out food to homeless people, and nobody ever called the cops on him or even mentioned it. And it's like, how come? Because like, what in the world? Not that I want him in jail. And the cops already didn't like him because his dad was like in the mob or something. So he said cops would like harass him often because he looked like his dad and they know his dad. But it's like, I don't know. I guess I should title this Targeted Individuals.